The late sun draped golden shadows across the fields of Whitmore Canine Estate, a vast, pristine property nestled in the quiet hills of northern Texas. Rows of spotless kennels lined the fences like soldiers in formation, each housing dogs trained with near-military precision. But beyond them all, at the farthest edge of the estate, stood a lone enclosure no one casually approached. Inside lived Max, a huge German shepherd with scars on his muzzle and something cold, almost haunted in his eyes. He didn't bark like other dogs. He growled, low, guttural, and unwelcoming. He didn't chase. He attacked. 3 different trainers had tried to rehabilitate Max in the past 6 months. 2 left needing stitches. 1 left with a broken arm. Still, Mr. Whitmore, the estate's wealthy, reclusive owner, refused to put Max down. He wouldn't give him away either. People whispered about why, until someone noticed an old photo on a shelf in Whitmore's office. A boy, maybe 8, sat on a doorstep, arms wrapped around a dog that looked just like Max. Scribbled beneath it, "Me and Duke, 1965. Whitmore wasn't known for warmth. Cold and distant, he rarely spoke to anyone unless it involved business or dogs. But something about that photo explained what words couldn't. Max wasn't just another dog. He was a link to a memory Whitmore couldn't let go. So one morning, with a chill wind tugging at his silver hair, Whitmore made an announcement himself. $1 million to anyone who can make Max friendly again. Not just obedient, gentle, trusting. No one laughed. Everyone knew. It wasn't about the money. It was about saving something he'd already lost once. Far away in the heart of the city, a girl named Maya drifted like a ghost through streets that never looked her in the eye. Just 12, she'd already mastered invisibility, how to sleep on concrete without drawing attention, how to ask without words, and how to disappear before anyone cared enough to notice. She barely remembered her parents, just scraps of sound and smell, a lullaby, a soft coat, cinnamon in the air. Her life now was a patchwork of cracked sidewalks, flashing traffic lights, and people who walked faster when they saw her. Then one afternoon, crouched behind a parking lot dumpster, she overheard 2 delivery drivers. "Some old billionaire's offering $1 million, one said. "For a dog?" The other laughed. "That shepherd's a monster. Ripped a guy's arm up." "Anyone can tame it gets the money," the first replied. Maya didn't move. She just listened, and something about that dog, a creature nobody could reach, echoed inside her like a whisper. Maybe it needs someone like me. That night, curled beneath a broken awning, she made up her mind. At sunrise, Maya set off with no address, only a name she'd overheard. Whitmore Canine Estate. She walked through alleys and under bridges, asked strangers for directions, followed vague gestures past fields and farms. Her feet ached, her lips cracked, but she didn't stop. By late afternoon, she reached a towering wooden gate flanked by security cameras and silence. She placed a hand on the metal fence and whispered, "I made it." No one opened the gate when she knocked. Hours passed. Then finally a uniformed guard appeared. "What do you want, kid?" She answered quietly, "I heard about the dog. Maximum, I want to try." He snorted. "Try? That dog would eat you alive." Then he turned and left. Maya didn't. She spent the night curled beside the gate, her hoodie zipped to her chin, arms wrapped around her knees. Coyotes howled. The wind bit. She stayed. By the 3rd day, people on the estate started talking. The girl at the gate, the one who wouldn't leave. One worker brought her half a sandwich and walked away without a word. She nodded in thanks. On the 4th morning, a second guard radioed in. "Sir, the girl's here again. Says she wants to meet Max." A pause, then a gravelly voice responded, "I'll be there in 10. Maya didn't flinch. The man who approached her wore a dark coat and a stare that could silence a room. Whitmore, the man himself. "You're the one who's been waiting," he asked. She nodded. "Why?" "Because no one else can reach Max. Maybe that's exactly why I should try." Whitmore studied her, silent. "He's dangerous." "I know. And you think you can fix him?" "No," she said softly. "I think maybe he isn't broken. Maybe he just needs someone who stays." He didn't smile, but something behind his eyes shifted, like a long-lost thought returning. Be here at sunrise, he said. You'll get one chance. The next morning, Maya stepped into the yard. Handlers clipped a thick tether to Max's collar. The massive dog snarled, yanking the chain tight. His eyes locked on her like prey. But Maya didn't speak, didn't run. She knelt at a safe distance, still, present, unmoving. Max barked, fierce and sharp. He lunged, the chain held. Dust flew. She didn't flinch. Minutes passed. 10, 15. Slowly, Max's posture changed. Tense, but no longer snarling. Then, he sat. Not from command, from curiosity. Maya reached slowly into her hoodie, pulled out a small granola bar, and set it on the ground. Max stepped forward, cautious. One step, then another. He stopped just inches from her. She whispered, "I'm not here to make you do anything. I just want to be here." He didn't growl, didn't bark, just leaned down, took the granola bar and sat beside her. No one moved. Even the wind seemed to hold its breath. Mr. Whitmore stepped forward. His voice was low, almost stunned. "You did it. No one's ever come close." She looked at Max, his head now resting lightly against her arm. "I don't want the money," Maya said, standing slowly. Whitmore raised an eyebrow. "What do you want?" "A room, a bed I won't get kicked out of, 2 meals a day, and school. I want to go to school." He stared at her as if trying to read something written in invisible ink. "That's all?" She nodded. "You'll stay in the main house," he said. "Eat with me, and we'll get you enrolled tomorrow." That night, Maya slept in a real bed for the first time. The sheets smelled like lavender. Outside her door, Max lay curled up, guarding her from a world that had never protected her before. In the room across the hall, Mr. Whitmore held that photo, me and Duke, 1965, and whispered, "She didn't fix him." She reminded him he wasn't broken. By the end of the week, Maya walked beside Whitmore like she'd always belonged there. Max trailing behind like a shadow finally reunited with its light. And when townsfolk asked about the girl who changed the impossible dog, they didn't mention money. They just said, "Some things money can't fix."